Welcome to the 109th Minute Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Dyer, here with your weekly update on all things supporters group related for SDFC. This the season before the season. It's a busy time for everybody, and there's a lot going on. And we're going to update you with everything. We have some new merchandise coming that's available for pre-order. We'll get into that. We are continuing to meet with the club and other supporter groups for SDFC. We can talk a little bit about that as well. And there's been a couple of events, both that just happened and some stuff coming up. In addition to these big Chrome Ball events that you might be interested in, we'll talk about that too. So to get into it, let me bring on producer John Cross. John, did I hit all the bases there?
Yeah, I think that was good. Good intro there for what we're going to be covering. And have to say that this is really weird doing this 5:30 live podcast tonight. This is
Well,
not
hopefully
not
this
the right
is
time.
this is a one-off, and this is my fault. I will take the blame. I do have an obligation later that I can't get out of. Hopefully, this is not a permanent schedule change for Tuesdays, but we'll keep you all updated on all that. Another little bit of housekeeping. I've got to clarify some stuff that was said last week on the pod. If you recall, we were talking about the Chrome Ball event in Poway, and I encouraged people to touch it and smudge it with their pudding fingers. I did hear from the club after the episode, and that is actually not encouraged. So if you could not touch the Chrome Ball, your SDFC workers would greatly appreciate it because guess what? They have to clean those smudges. And it's a pretty large Chrome Ball, I must say. So um, touching Chrome Ball, not recommended. Hands off, recommended. Now, I don't think there's a rope around it or anything. I'm just saying, if you really want, but no, don't do it. You're just creating work for our friends. So let's just get that out of the way up front. Do not smudge the Chrome Ball. Okay, that is not cool.
But you can take a picture with it.
Take a picture with it. Take a selfie. Um, Act like you're going to touch it, and then see if the employees react, and then pull your hand away. That could be fun. But let's not smudge it up, and let's let you know this whole thing with eating pudding with your fingers. We can't. We're not all Ron DeSantis. Don't eat pudding with your fingers. Okay. Everybody knows if you don't have a spoon, the way you eat a pudding cup is not with your fingers, but with your tongue. You gotta get the pudding cup here, and then you. I mean, let me. I don't know. I shouldn't do this on the live stream. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we need the visual.
Let me tell you, it's much cleaner than using your fingers. Okay. The thing is that you shouldn't let the lack of a spoon keep you know a, a wall between you and your pudding, but don't put your fingers in it, and don't touch the Chrome
And
Ball.
don't touch the Chrome Ball.
That's all I have on that.
Okay, can we move on to kits?
Oh yeah,
We have a
there's
couple different kit things. We have some for the locals. Let's start with that.
okay.
And unfortunately, kind of in our change of times here, I lost track of my time because I didn't get pictures ready. But we do have some merch available for the locals. There are 2 versions of hoodies and 2 t-shirts. If you haven't seen them yet, the link is in the Discord. It's been shared also on social media. It is behind the member wall, so you have to be a 2024 member to be able to access the merch items. But if you are, they're there. It's our first kind of slightly different color palette merch, or expanded,
It's
I
the
should say,
blue.
color
It's the
palette.
blue. It's the
It's the
blue
blue.
that I've been screaming about for 2 months now.
But we do. I think they look really nice. I like them. They're nice and clean. I personally have ordered one of everything. of the 4 different items. And I don't remember how big of an order my family put in total, but there were lots of other shirts and sweatshirts that are going out to various people. So, Andrew, have you ordered your kits yet? Or your not
Uh,
kits, I guess I should say. They're t-shirts and hoodies and
getting a couple shirts. Probably going to hold off on the hoodies for now. Just I find myself wearing hoodies less. Not reaching for the hoodie as much as maybe I was previously. So um, yeah, just gonna go with the shirts for now. Excited to get my hands on one and represent the SG at some of these events.
yeah, it'll be nice to have those. I do want to remind everybody though that this is a pre-order package that we're doing. I don't know what future plans are going to be, but at the moment, this is entirely pre-order and it's just for this week. So if you have not ordered your short shirt yet or sweatshirt and you would like to do so, you need to get online. You need to get to the member only portion of the store, which the link again is in Discord and it's been shared on socials. But get in there and order them. Do you remember the date? It's around this weekend coming up. I would say around March 3rd. I knew we wanted to go through the Santee Chrome Ball event, which is on the 2nd, but it's coming up very soon. So if you do want to order something, please get in there and order it. And part of the reason we're doing a pre-sale is, you know, with all the changes and the transition, and we've talked about trying to recruit members and maybe get some of those people who are on the fence kind of back in with us. We are, not knowing how big the group is going to be, which we usually know right before the season because that's when most people sign up, and then you're kicking off a ball, and we know how much money we have for the rest of the year. But since we don't, this is kind of to help mitigate some things and make sure we are being responsible with our money. This particular merch option is entirely pre-sale. So if you want one, get in there, click the link, and order them by this weekend, and get your orders in. Otherwise, you may miss out completely on them.
Yeah, $25 for a t-shirt, not bad. Much cheaper than going through the club. They're $48 t-shirts.
Our hoodies are less than that.
Yeah. So not a bad deal. And especially if you're going to be coming to some of these events, there are a few other, I wouldn't call them events, but Jerry Jimenez from SDFC, not only does he have to clean your smudgy fingerprints off the chrome ball, but he also has to meet up with you crazy people, and he's willing to do it during some impromptu happy hours coming up. You have the dates for those happy hours with Jerry?
I do, and I'm trying to find it. Here it is. There
Former
will be 3
host
in
of this
March.
very show. I gotta say, I can't believe I neglected to mention Jerry was one of the original hosts of this very
The
podcast,
original. Yep,
co-founder of the Locals. So continue. I
that's right.
interrupted.
It's fine. There's going to be 3 happy hours that Jerry will be hosting on behalf of SDFC. They will be March 20th at 3 Punk Ales down in Chula Vista, or their Chula Vista location, I should say. March 25th at the South Bay Tap House in San Ysidro, and March 27th at Border X in Logan Heights. I know there is, I just saw it, a link come out, so I'm sure we're going to have it in the Discord, but there's a sign up sheet for the March 20th one, I think, because they just want to have an idea of how many people are going to show up for, I'm sure, to share with 3 Punk Ales as well for staffing issues and what's going on there. But there will be a happy hour. Those, and I'm guessing those will probably, I'm sure these 3 in March aren't the only ones. These all tend, or look, what we have here in March tend to be more in the South Bay, since I think the Chrome Ball Tour events have been, at least initially, heavily in the North County right now, just because San Diego County has more cities in the North County than it does in the rest of the area. So there's some happy hours down there in South Bay areas, March 20th, March 25th, March 27th. And it's open to all supporter group members. So there's everybody from the locals, everybody from Chavos, from 18th Battalion, all the different groups, Riptides. Who am I forgetting? Dago Boys, and I think they're still part of the group Barra 18 as well. So the 6 identified supporter groups, anybody who's a member of those can go down to these happy hour events. So that's something to put on your calendar, especially if you're in the South Bay and you want to meet up with some other supporters. And you're down the South Bay, Andrew. You're going to head out to any of these or all of them?
I don't know my schedule just yet, but if I'm able to, I will go. Yes. So yeah, that's a non-committed commitment right there. I'll be there if I can.
I think at 3 Punk Ales, if I remember, the time is going to be from 6 to 8, but we'll have more information on upcoming podcasts about that as we get closer to the event. And I'm sure we'll have fuller details posted in Discord as well.
So other STFC club info, there is now an SG link on their website. I think all of the recognized clubs are now linked on their website. So things are slowly turning into reality. There is also a little bit of movement. Now, we haven't had any meetings yet, but this has been was shared in our among leadership today that we're going to try to start getting some traction on some sort of umbrella group with all the supporters,
Right.
all the other groups. This is very preliminary, so I don't have any information other than we're trying, but that's coming. And so our meetings with the club representatives from the SG continue to meet with the club monthly. We're going to add these other meetings about an umbrella group into that mix as well, so that just sort of streamline communication. That way, you know, the supporters end. It's going to be the whole end of that stadium, right? That way we can really speak as one voice in this umbrella organization that'll kind of will all fall under. So that it just makes things so much easier. Especially you look at, like, from the club's perspective, if there's 12 supporter groups and you've got 12 different supporter group presidents, you know, emailing you, and it makes it pretty difficult. So with one group, it makes it a lot easier to deal with the front office and to kind of leverage our numbers. And should we need to do that for whatever purposes down the road.
Right. And that is part of it. And there's probably going to be 3 things ongoing simultaneously. It's these monthly meetings that representatives from the supporter groups and the FO are having, which we have one coming up on Thursday of this week. Then the supporter groups on their own meeting, which that hasn't been formalized yet, but I think we're getting very close to the point of talking about setting some dates, and like, so we can meet and start organizing a little better as one voice when we talk to the FO. And then just internally, what do, you know, how do the locals want that to look, you know, as part of the umbrella group? And I'm sure all the SGs will also be coming to the table with, well, where do we want to partner together, and where do we want some autonomy? And really, probably the bigger piece is, you know, the together part is the 90 minutes we're shoulder to shoulder during the match, right? What is that going to look like? That's where we really need to be uniform. But
the last
thing
we want is people trying to get 3 or 4 different chants going at the same time at that end of the stadium. Like, that's not going to fly. And, you know, we got to get those sorts of logistics down so that all of these voices can be heard as one, right?
But outside of the match day, I would expect, just from what little I'm hearing and talking with people, that the individual supporter groups will remain pretty autonomous. It's just like that 90 minutes of match day, like,
which let me just say,
that's where we need to come.
That's
together.
the important stuff too. Let me just, I'm going to go on a tangent here, but what do we exist for if not for those 90 minutes? My perspective. I know a lot of people have different ideas about what a supporters group is, but it's about those 90 minutes, or sometimes they could go up to, you know, 109 maybe.
109.
It's really, that's so important. Now the other aspects also, of course, are valued, but like that in-game, in-stadium experience makes or breaks us. We want to uh, make a statement with a tifo. We want to make a statement with a song. We want to make a statement. We can do press releases and put stuff out on socials, but it's what you do behind that goal, in front of all of your fellow fans, that really, really resonates. So uh, it's just so important. You look at, for me anyway, you look at the groups that I consider, that I'm familiar with, that I think are very effective, like Timbers Army and 3252 and LAFC. Um, they're able to do this, and this is why they're able to do that, right? That's why they're so kind of well regarded, I think, in amongst supporter groups and the supporter group community. So we want to be in that conversation. We want them to mention our group, our supporter section, in the same breath as these ones, and this is how we get there.
Right. And to go along those lines of kind of getting people together, we do have the next Chrome Ball Tour event coming up on Saturday in Santee. It'll be the March 2nd, depending on when you're listening to this. So make sure you have the right Saturday. So Saturday, March 2nd. I don't have the times in front of me. I thought it was going to be kind of like the Poway one, like 12-ish, lunchtime-ish to about 5 o'clock-ish. I know they're posted somewhere. I don't have it up in front of me at the moment. But it'll be this weekend in Santee, and it's going to be at Town Center Park East. Right now, it looks like we might have a little bit of weather on that day. If we don't have rain, we're probably going to have some decent wind, but we might get both. So it's going to be an interesting time out there. They're going to be doing some, instead of short-sided matches, which they've done at a lot of the other events, they're going to do some full 11v11 matches out here. And they have some
Nice.
different categories that are set up for different brackets of teams. But if you get a chance, come out, say hi. If you're in East County, especially, stop by. It's really, again, I can't stress it enough. Getting out there and being with supporters again and hanging out with people again is really invigorating, and it really it has helped me renew my commitment to the supporter group as well, getting out there and realize how much I miss some of this stuff. So
Yeah.
if you get the chance, uh, really come on out. If you could help, fantastic. But otherwise, just come out and swing by and say hello and meet some of the other supporter groups and the other people that are out there as well.
I do want to say also, for this one especially, Santee, this is a community that has, kind of, earned some negative press, with some unfortunate incidents over the last several years. But this community really is so much more than all of those bad stories. I've met so many people in Santee, who, I'm the people that I met, they were advocating for things like racial justice and stuff like that. And they were doing it in this community that had some people in it that were very hostile to their effort. And so these people really, really do need our support. And that community is full of good people, who, you know, are are just as deserving of having, a great soccer experience and a great club and great supporter groups to join. And I would, I think what I'm, the reason I'm just saying this is, like, I don't want people to be put off from going to an event just because it's in Santee. Whatever you've heard, it's, you know, this is not going to the other side of the world. It's literally just over the hill, and it's a very normal place. It's not all of the if you don't go, then it's a normal place. And they have a Raising Cane's chicken that, that's my son's favorite.
Well, as someone who lived there for a while and has worked there for more than 25 years, I can say that it is a significantly different place now than when it earned some of its reputation about 25 years ago for some of the serious things. So it's a very different place. And yeah, it is. If you get a chance, come on out. Like you said, a lot of good people out there, a lot of soccer fans out there as well. So we hope we can get a lot of them to come out and check out the event and maybe join the locals and stand with us once 2025 rolls around.
I think there was some talk, and I may be off base, but I think they were going to keep the shirt orders open through the Chrome Ball event in case people coming through Chrome Ball
Yes.
wanted to join and order shirts. So you have at least until the end of Saturday to get those orders in.
Yeah, I think it's through the whole weekend at least. It might even be Monday or Tuesday,
Okay.
but if you want to order your shirts, yeah, jump in there and get them ordered so you don't forget and miss out. Might do a second order, but I guess it kind of depends if there is demand after that.
Speaking of shirts, I don't want to spend too much time on another club, but the Wave did release their kits today. I don't know if they're available for sale yet, but those designs are out. Just those and I'm speaking not to the club, but to the fans of San Diego Wave. Y'all really deserve these kits. Y'all put up with 2 seasons of these template kits. Just disaster, just terrible, just stuff that you could get it like Ross on the Nike clearance rack. Like, what were those kits? And now you've got these really cool. I really like the white one with the color. I don't even know what you
Right.
call that pattern. But
That's
these
their home
kits,
kit. Yeah.
yeah, these kits look great. Y'all really deserve it, and I'm happy for y'all that you finally can get some kits and be really proud to wear them. And even amongst the other NWSL kits, I think these ones really stand out. And yeah, the pink away kit, that's awesome. That solid pink. I think a lot of us thought that would have been the kit that they went with originally, and it took 2 seasons to get them, but
Yeah.
they're here. So yeah, check those out if you are interested. I think you will see those kits quickly replace all of the template kits at Wave Games.
Yes.
Probably from the very first game you go there, it's going to be all of these kits. I think everybody is ready to ditch these dull kits.
Yeah, they were bad, and I think anybody at Sirens and most of the fans would have told you they're bad. Like there's
No.
no one's defending those previous kits. These are
Even
nice.
people from the club
Yes.
might tell you that
Right.
on deep background.
Yeah, very happy for our brothers and sisters over at the Sirens that they get a good kit. Although, the Sirens make some decent kits for their supporter group as well. So if you haven't had a chance to see some of theirs, they make some good stuff. So if you
Now
haven't
the
had a
best
chance,
kit
go
is
check that
still
out.
Adrian's San Diego Ways kit. I think is still has not been topped. If you haven't seen that one, yeah, catch up with Adrian at one of these matches, and I'm sure he'll show you.
I heard he's looking to do another order this year, so that should be fun. All right, I'm trying to look and see what else we had.
So I do want to plug the locals Rocket League team. They are about to kick off at 6:00. I'm not sure who they're playing tonight, but it will be streaming.
Viking Army.
The
from
Viking
Red
Army.
Bull.
Oh wow! So that explains the early kickoff if they are on the East Coast. So yeah, check out competitive Rocket League. These matches have been incredibly entertaining. I try to catch all of them, and it's hey, we don't got a lot of soccer to watch, so it's soccer adjacent.
Right. And our kickball team lost in a walk-off last week, 6-5. They have a doubleheader this week, and those should be the last 2 games of this season. And then their new season will start up on March 14th, I believe it is. Yeah, on March 14th. And I'm not sure if both teams are full or not, but if you were interested
I was
in
so
possibly
close
playing
to
kickball,
signing up for kickball because
Yeah.
it sounds like fun. And I even started to make my account, and I was going to do it. And then I'm like, oh, Thursday nights, I got to take my kid to soccer practice and pick him up. Like I just can't. I can't do it. I cannot.
You got a couple more years, then you'll be
Yeah,
able to do it.
yeah. I can't make any of these commitments. So we'll get there eventually. I will join a beer league at some point in my life.
There you go. The last event really to talk about is, and this is a tentative date and time, but trying to organize a big all SG bonfire on Saturday, April 20th. So this is not organized by SDFC. This is the SGs getting together to do a big event for ourselves so we can all start to get to meet each other. If you've been around the locals for a while, you probably know a lot of Chavos already. I don't know how many new people they picked up. A lot of the Riptides were former members of the locals, so you might know a lot of those people, but they've picked up some new members as well. You have the Dago Boys and you have the 18th Battalion and Barra 18. So any of those or all those people, all those groups will be invited, and will right now that is the tentative date. So just keep an eye out. We'll get the details firmed up over the next few weeks, and we'll hopefully have a big, hopefully this won't be the only one we have this year, but this will be the first of our big supporter section kind of social activities that we can do. And since the group, I don't know, maybe all told, we're a few hundred right now amongst all the groups, but at some point it's going to hit 500 and it's going to hit 1,000, and they're going to be bigger and bigger. Not that everybody will show up to every one of these events, but we're going to have probably some pretty massive events before too long. So
I would think for that reason
figure out where to
alone,
hold those.
For that reason alone, it's worthwhile to come out and meet some folks and get to know the kind of the core leadership of these other groups, because it's going to be real difficult to do that when there's thousands of us. If you enjoy supporter group stuff and want to know who's who in these other groups, who to talk to, who to reach out to for this. It is on April 20th, so 420, you can blaze it. I mean, by blaze it, I mean the bonfire that will be blazing. So yeah, it's going to be a good time.
I think that's it that we have for, unless you have anything else.
No, just I will continue to plug. Please join if your membership has lapsed. Join. There's a $1 level for you, just so that we can account for you and know how much crap to order when we do start stocking an actual merch store. We would like to have a good idea of how many to order, and then also we these numbers help in our communications with the club. Now this is a very small part of it. Don't join just so that we can to flex on whatever, but it does help to have an accurate estimate of how many people we bring to the table as a group. We're going to be working on this umbrella group, and hopefully everything is cordial and diplomatic. And I'm sure if Steve is involved, Steve is the ultimate diplomat, so I have all confidence there. But it doesn't hurt to be able to accurately express how many people we're bringing to the table here as a supporter group. So sign up if you're lapsed. It's only $1, and that gets you into the member store, and you can get one of these new shirts and whatever else new merch is coming down the pipeline.
And just along the membership line, before I forget, is youth membership should be going live very, very soon. Our goal is to make sure they're out in March. So before we close this early round of memberships at the end of March, which we'll talk about this in more detail on a future show, but we will be closing the memberships in March so we can officially create the list of season numbers, kind of that potential seniority thing. And then we will reopen again. And once everybody's kind of sorted with their proper number, then as we get new members in, then they'll just add to the end of the list. But we will be closing this initial round at the end of March. Just so keep that in mind. And youth membership should be going live well before then, so you can sign up your kids, your non-adult members of your household very soon.
All right. All right. So we will keep you up to date every week. Join us here or on your podcast app. Tell your friends, and hope to see you soon at one of these many events and opportunities coming up. So until next time. Bye.
All right. Good night.